No Big Deal is a one-of-a-kind FPS that's taking Roblox by storm. The game's description identifies it as a round-based business negotiation shooter in which you deal, fight, and smooth-talk yourself into becoming the most profitable company of Los Rosa. Now, even those who've played a few rounds of this game can still struggle to understand how it works, so let me break it down for you Barney style. First, the companies. Halfwell Financials, an eminent banking firm that's crushed every competitor in their field since 1878. Gangs, businesses, politicians, anyone who tries to threaten them learns the hard way who really controls their money. Alamont, a Texas-based defense contractor that provides high-end military hardware, top-notch private security, and emergent weapons technology to anyone willing to cut a deal. They may speak with a friendly drawl, but their trigger finger is always itchy, and their big iron is never out of reach. Bergman Group, a New York multimedia conglomerate that's got its finger in every pie. When you engage with any information medium, movies, news stations, even FM radio, chances are you're seeing and hearing exactly what Bergman wants you to. Uramoto Automotive, an industrial powerhouse that manufactures everything from cars to computers to kitchen appliances. Uramoto owes its massive corporate success to its relentless pursuit of efficiency, and if they calculate that taking you off the board will further their goals, then they won't hesitate to. Finally, there's Renetti, a luxury clothing company that hails from the opulent boulevards of Florence, Italy. Where other companies sell food, furniture, or office supplies, Renetti sells class, elegance, and sophistication. If you make an enemy of them, your death will come well dressed. 3 of these companies are selected at the beginning of the match, and the object of the game is to earn the most money for your company by the end of the work week. Each day brings new opportunities. From Monday till Thursday, one team will spawn with a proprietary project on a floppy disk, while the other teams receive money to try to purchase the project. Telephones are provided during the negotiation phase so that players can communicate and deal with each other, making false promises and setting up double crosses. It's in everyone's best interest for a legitimate deal to go off without a hitch, but at the end of the day, at least one team is going to get snubbed. This is where things usually get ugly. Let's say Renetti and Alamont are willing to do business, but while the deal's going down, they get attacked by Bergman. Obviously, neither team wants this third party to roll up and steal all their stuff, but there's always that temptation that creeps in. Why not let these attackers soften up your business partner a bit? And then, after the threat is dealt with, betray them and keep both the project and the money. The obvious deterrent is that if you break the trust of one of the other companies, they'll be hesitant to deal with you in the future, and might even gravitate towards your other opponent. However, loyalties tend to get a bit shaky as that Friday deadline approaches, making each subsequent encounter riskier and riskier. On Friday, the project is dead dropped at a random building and all the teams have to fight over it for a hefty sum of cash. The company with the most money at the end of the week stays up, while the other 2 are cycled out and the next match begins with a clean slate. While there isn't any permanent progression or benefits from winning matches, the money that you accumulate on one day will allow you to purchase better weapons on the next. This way, players are incentivized to make a profit no matter what so that their team can stay viable throughout the work week. So there I was, right? Must have been a dozen guys staring me down, cocksure of themselves and grinning ear to ear. But they didn't know who they's messing with, you know? I looked them dead in the eye and I said, "Sorry boys, you picked a bad day to die." Sure. And then you know what I did? I pulled out both my pistols at the same time. I started slinging lead in every direction. That's why they call me Double Heat Donnie. Nobody calls you that. Yes they do. No, everyone knows you're full of it. Oh, you wanna see? What? The weapons of No Big Deal are unique, to say the least. Visually, they're a bit inconsistent. Some of them, like the Hardball or Ural 79, are simple and stylized, while others, like the Kick 10, barely depart at all from their real-world inspiration. The names also exist on a spectrum of fiction. While Hardball is awfully close to the AMT Hardballer, Doppio just means double in Italian, and Carcosa is tragic. Ruins of a once great knowable. They all take proprietary ammo and magazines, so you can't mix and match, but they're also all relatively competitive. And while using a hardball late into the week isn't ideal, it also doesn't guarantee that you're going to lose. Now, I didn't want to have to be the one, but somebody needs to stand up and say it. Unnecessarily convoluted control schemes are annoying, and they detract from most of the games they're implemented in. I had previously planned to make a video on Whiz-Bang back when people wouldn't stop blowing up my comments section with whichever World War I shooter of the week was in style at the time. I ended up not going through with it because all my footage got corrupted, and then they released a big update that invalidated a lot of my points. But I still have the first 2 pages of the script in my Google Docs. Do you know what the very first bullet point I recorded to flesh out later was? Quote, "Awful control scheme. The Linux of shooters. I know that the controls are one of the various mechanics borrowed from the primary inspiration of Sub Rosa, but that doesn't give it a pass in my eyes. The amount of unintuitive steps you need to take to perform the most simple tasks is mind-numbing. Let's say you want to run the Doppio 12 gauge. It's a simple over-under shotgun that can have 1 shell in each chamber. You get into a gunfight and discharge both barrels, and now you've got to reload before those bergs push you. Here's what you need to do. Empty your offhand by pushing an unallocated number key, hit R to unload the first spent shell into your offhand, hit G to drop it, hit R and then G again to get rid of the other shell. Now go to whichever number you've got your live rounds stored in and hit that key to load into your offhand. You're 60% of the way there. Hit R again to load your weapon, then repeat the previous 2 steps to finally complete the reloading process. If you mess up any of those steps, or God forbid, hit the G button at the wrong moment, you are beyond cooked. I'll be the first to admit that I have something of a skill issue when it comes to controls in this game, and that can be overcome with experience. But it also creates a seemingly pointless learning curve that prevents players who are used to conventional shooters from experiencing no big deals combat. Adding to the confusion, the combat system is the damage system. Shots to the arms and legs will cripple those limbs and force you to play around the respective detriments, while shots to the head and torso are fatal once they meet the damage threshold. Your limb health is indicated by this obtrusive little guy above your hotbar, which is pretty useless because nobody's looking at that while they're in the midst of a firefight, and even if they did, what would that change? Oh, my head health is pretty low, I better just avoid getting shot in the head next time? Trust me, if your arm gets shot to pieces, you're gonna know. There's also this whole hidden system for determining the value of the project and how much money's in play at any given round. There's probably a chart on the wiki that you can look up. It's like different colors of floppy disk fetch different prices. You honestly don't really gotta worry about that. The easiest way to estimate what your project is worth is by looking at the reward you get for not selling it and then multiplying that by 10, plus another 500 to 1,000 on top. For taking a back seat to the dealing and gunfights, the city that the game is set in is chock full of personality. Nearly every building has a unique name or appearance, and you'll find the funniest little details in corners where people who are just playing the game will never look twice, like the St. Dr. John Michael Winsbury Holy Lutheran Unity Evangelical Trinity Church of Rostock, or Happy Nails America, good of good fortune burger happy when leave America fun time. I do wish that they added NPC cars and pedestrians to make the city feel a little more alive. Maybe that could even come with new obstacles in the form of NPC cops who respond to gunshots or block off roadways. I will say that having a car is mandatory. The city is massive and it takes several minutes to walk from one end to the other, so if something happens and you get stranded while making a deal, good luck getting back to your base in time, especially if you got your legs shot up in an ambush. Another problem I have is that there's no automatic method to balance the companies and maintain team integrity. Any player can switch to any team during a mission, so you either end up with one totally stacked company that dominates the round, or one empty company that ruins the entire business dynamic. I wish there was some mechanic to keep you on the same team all week to prevent players from flaking out. I will say that people frequently leave the game once they die, so some balancing is inevitable, but as of right now it's the Wild West. By far the best part of No Big Deal is trying to out-scheme and out-deal your competitors. The people who try to play it like a straight shooter and focus solely on combat are missing out on the most fun and novel aspect of the game. In conclusion, No Big Deal represents a rare occurrence in the Roblox pantheon. Rather than stealing a popular idea from the mainstream and manufacturing an inferior copy to make a quick buck from kids who can't access the real deal, it takes the concept and mechanics from a project that failed to live up to its potential and executes them in a way that not only breathes life into this niche genre, but also elevates it with a unique identity. There's something amusing about these sharply dressed businessmen who work for different bosses but are all essentially identical in that they'll swindle, backstab, and betray each other with a smile on their face just to secure a strong third quarter for a corporation we never get to see. I hope the game continues to expand and add new maps, game modes, and mechanics. As of now though, I'm pleased to rate No Big Deal a profitable 8.5 out of 10. We should have gone to Red Eye. I'm telling you, Jerry, this thing is gonna change your life. Look, the Hawaiians are good at all kinds of stuff. Hula girls, shark tooth necklaces, tiki torches. What do they know about hamburgers? Well, they use their island intuition and all that mystic lava magic to do something no one's ever thought of before.
Here's your Bacon Deluxe, and here's your Hawaiian burger.
Frankie, what am I looking at? Ham and pineapple, isn't that incredible? Frankie, that's sacrilege. What's next? They're gonna give me a raw coconut with a little grass skirt on it? No, man, that's not a thing. Look, I've been through enough today. Almost got my head blown off lifting this project off those Renetti boys. All I want to do now is relax and eat a nice, greasy burger. And you have taken that from me. I hope you can live with yourself. What do you think's on that thing, anyway? I don't know. I think Sub Rosa had drugs or something, but those break Roblox terms of service. Wait a minute, they have floppy disks too? Yeah, no, I have no idea. What do you say we... Okay, these facial animations are too hard. None of the face packs in the toolbox have the right mouths for all these sounds. When have you ever seen someone go sss, sss? I'm done. This is why I wear the mask. Are you off your normal pills? Why are we here anyway? I thought this was supposed to be the beginning of the video. Yeah, it was gonna be like a whole Pulp Fiction reference, but that's out the window. We kinda ran out of music, and I can't have Honey Bunny saying all that stuff in the first 30 seconds. Well, you wanna go put this thing in and see what's really on it? I don't really know how to use one of these things. Why are you still doing the voice? I don't know.
Hey guys, end of the
Oh,
video,
for Pete's
Skit here.
sake. It's just the schizo
7:30 in the
ramblings of a
morning
sleep-deprived
and I have no
YouTuber.
internet. This one was definitely more animation heavy, so it took a lot longer to make. This video is proof that I have not yet been blown up by a missile. Hopefully I'll be coming home pretty soon here, and we can get back to good internet and hosting events and making videos and all that great stuff. I just want to thank you guys for hanging around these past 6 or however many months it's been since I've last uploaded. And also, thank you to my wonderful girlfriend, Julie, for helping me with the voice work there. I am not dead. I am still alive. I've got video ideas in the pipeline, okay? These things take time. I gotta get back to the States probably before I can make another, full video. But, thanks again for watching. I love you guys. Please be safe out there, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.
Well, that sucked.